Phoenix Suns have done everything we've asked for this offseason, getting some new big man depth with Mason Plumlee, getting some new point guards to run the offense. And most importantly, we filled out our bench with proven commodities. But despite all of the changes we've made, we still have haters coming out of the woodwork with people leaving comments saying, LOL, I don't know what's so funny. Same team, different names from last year. No defensive-oriented players. So today, we're going to be talking about the glaring issues with this Suns roster and why they might not be as big as they seem. All saw the disaster that was the 2023 Phoenix Suns, but contrary to popular belief, the Phoenix Suns were not all that bad defensively last year. I know it looked pretty bad in the playoffs, but if we look at their regular season, they were right smack in the middle, tied with the New Orleans Pelicans for the 15th best or 15th worst, depending on how you want to see it, defense in basketball. But what I kind of wanted to cover today is the fact that maybe the defense wasn't as bad as we thought. If you look, they gave up 19.8 points off of turnovers last year. That's offense giving up points. That's not the defense. And we may have brought the guys in this year to be able to stop the bleeding, so to say. Monte Morris and Tyus Jones are two of the best assist to turnover ball handlers in the NBA right now and possibly in the NBA ever. So if we look, the 19.8 points off of turnovers, I think we can cut a good 7 or 6 of those off this year and be maybe around the top of the league in points off of turnovers. And that drastically changes what our guys need to do on defense. Now, the starting lineup is not full of like defensive orientated guys. But if we look at just the Olympics, Devin Booker, he stepped up and he took the task of being the point of attack defender for whoever they were facing. And, you know, they may not have been facing some of the stars that they'll play in the NBA this year, but he showed a willingness to do it. And he was bought into that Olympic team. And I think him and Kevin Durant are bought in this year with Coach Bud. Now let's move to Kevin Durant. He's also a above average defender at this point in his career. Has he lost a step? Absolutely. But that hasn't stopped him from being productive. Last year, the Houston Rockets coach said he might be one of the most versatile defenders in all of basketball. So we look at those two guys. Bradley Beal played some good moments, defense in good moments last year. And Tyus Jones is just a little undersized. So the critiques about us being a bad defensive team, I think they stem from the fact that, one, we have a slow, bruising, rim-running big, and two, we're a little bit undersized outside of the 4 position. But as we go to the bench, it gets a little bit better. We drafted Ryan Dunn, who a lot of scouts have said may be one of the best defensive prospects of the last 10 years. We have Oso Iguodala, who you guys might remember because I remember a lot of you guys wanted Tyler Kolek, but instead we got his running mate from Marquette, Oso Iguodala, who has as high of an IQ as Tyler Kolek. He's a great passer, but more than that, he's a lob threat and he's a good defender. He's going to be, if he gets playing time, I want to see him in a defense with Kevin Durant just switching. A switching defense, kind of like what Boston ran a little bit last year with Tingus Pingus and Al Horford. I think it'll be an interesting defense for them to run next year. We look at guys like Royce O'Neal. He's been in 50 playoff games in his career. That's a proven commodity, okay? And he's played some great defense. He active hands, and he's just a menace. He gets away with a lot of calls that he probably shouldn't, but that bodes well for us, the Phoenix Suns. Now we move on to Mason Plumlee. That guy can, he's lost a step. A lot of these guys are older, I will admit. And there is some concern with that. But Mason Plumlee can still defend the rim. He reminds me a lot of Jusuf Nurkic. And I really, really like that it seems like we've kind of doubled down. Last year we had Jusuf Nurkic, and then we had, what was his? Drew Eubanks. Sorry, I apologize. We had Drew Eubanks, and it felt like lineup to lineup was just so different. Like we already had continuity issues with this team being brand new and kind of a bunch of vet minimum players thrown together a little bit like this year. But lineup to lineup, it was never the same. And that's something that's not going to be the case this year, okay? So these guys are going to figure out what they need to do defensively early on, and it's just going to change the game for them. We also look at Grayson Allen as a willing defender. I wouldn't say he's a great defender, but he's a willing defender. He's going to put himself in a position to try to make a play. Whether that happens or not is random. And then we have Bull. Not a bad defender, you know. He was one of our better rim running, rim protecting bigs last year. He's going to play the 4 most likely in a small ball lineup with Kevin Durant and Bull. Super excited. And it's going to be great defensively. So while there are a lot of questions with our defense, we have plenty of willing defenders to make it happen. And I think that's what it comes down to this year. Now, let's move to offense. I mean, you can say we have pretty much the same team. Let me reference the comment again. Same team, different names from last year. Now, I just disagree with that. Yuta Watanabe, Jameson Metu, Drew Eubanks, none of those guys were proven. You know, Yuta had some good moments with Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. And that's largely why we brought in Jameson Metu had some good moments, and so did Eubanks. And I think Frank Vogel and Matt Ishbia, James Jones, they really liked the potential of those. But we saw it. This team does not have time to wait for guys with potential to find a role. I mean, look at Nasir Little. He was on the squad for the entire year and couldn't even find a role in this team. So we pivoted. And this year we got proven players. Mason Plumlee. We signed Royce O'Neal. We got Grayson Allen on that extension. Tyus Jones, Monte Morris. All of these guys are proven vets looking to produce for a playoff team. And, you know, I think the buy-in that Coach Bud might be able to get for these players is going to create a whole new offense. I think we're going to be shooting a lot more threes this year. I'm really hoping that Grayson Allen coming off the bench is able to, you know, just swing it, man. Like, just shoot. If you're open, shoot. It seemed like last year he was great on the three-point line, but it seemed like he was a little bit hesitant to shoot sometimes, like he didn't want to do it. But that's not the case. We need these guys to step up and take the shot. We didn't have that in the fourth quarter of last year, and I don't foresee that being an issue this year. We have an offensive coach who's going to draw a great speed. It's going to be a fun game. You know, we have a lot of haters. They've kind of died down since the Olympics as we watch our boys, the Valley Boys, ball out on the biggest stage possible. But they're still there, and you know they're gonna doubt, and at the end of the day, Beal, Durant, and Booker are just gonna need to put them down. So thank you guys for watching this video. Had a blast with it. Thank you so much for watching this video. This has been another episode of the 480 podcast, part of the 480 experience. I appreciate you guys for bearing with me. I took a quick little hiatus. My college is starting. It was pretty busy, but we're back to grinding. We're going to get, hopefully, 3-4 videos out a week. It's going to be great, and I know you guys want to be here for the ride. So, you know, the links are going to be here. And if you want to click them, there's some great videos. Thank you, guys.